Chetty, lecturer in PSL Law College, Kakinada, affiliated to Nandaya University, Rajamahendravaram, Andhra Pradesh. I teach public administration. Today's topic is bureaucracy in India, nature and organization of civil service, central and state, accountability and responsiveness, powers and functions. Civil services of India. The civil services refers to the career bureaucrats who are the permanent executive branch of the Republic of India. Introduction. In a parliamentary system of governance, the political executive determines political and programs of government, while the implementation and administration of three policies and programs is the responsibility of large body of civil servants. The civil servants in India are accorded a constitutional status. Article 308 to 322 of the Constitution are devoted to the services under the Union, the states, and the All India services. History of Indian civil service aimed the British period. 1854, the Macaulay Committee gave India its first modern civil service. It recommended a permanent civil service based on a merit-based system through competitive entry examination. In 1887, 8th Sun Commission divided the services into three groups: imperial, provincial, and subordinate. In 1919, according to the 1919 Act, Government of India Act split the imperial services into All India services and central services. 1930 onwards, the classification of services came to be governed by Civil Service Classification, Control and Appeal Rules 1930. Class 1, the various services were divided into four categories: Class 1, Class 2, subordinate and inferior. Another classification of the civil services during the British period: gazetted and non-gazetted. Post-independence, classification of the services is governed by the Civil Services Classification, Control and Appeal Rules 1930, amended from time to time. Since 1974, the classification of civil servants was groups A, B, C, D. Since the 6th Pay Commission, the classification of civil services has been changed to groups A, B, C. Classification of civil services in India. Civil services of India. All India service, Central Civil Service, State Administrative Service. All India services, the services that are common to the Union and the states. Services which may be included in this category in the manner provided by the Article 312 of the Constitution. That is IAS, IPS, Indian Forest Service. Central Civil Services, the services that function under the Union government, generally engaged in administering subjects assigned in the Union under the Constitution, that is the Indian Foreign Service IFS, the Indian Audit and Account Service, etc. State Civil Service. The services that function only under the state governments and administrator through subjects which have been allocated to the states as per the Constitution. Structure of civil service. The central and state services can also be classified into groups A, B and C. The classification is hierarchical, with the group A services carrying higher ranks and responsibilities. In a nutshell, the civil services in India are classified as All India Services, IAS, IPS, Indian Forest Service, Central Services, Group A, B and C, State Services, Group A, B and C. Classification of services illustrate general management services, specialized services, technical services. Group A, All India Services, general management services. IAS comes into the general management services. IBS comes into the specialized services. Technical services means Indian Forest Services. Group B, Central Services, RBSS, CSS, etc. Specialized services, IFS, IRS, IRDS, RAS, IA and AS, etc. In Group B, technical services, railways, railway engineering services, CGHS, etc. Article 312 provides for the certain of all India services. These are common to both the centre and the states. Members of these services can serve under both the central government as well as the state government. All India services. There are three All India services: the Indian Administrative Services, Indian Police Service and Indian Forest Service. All India Services Act 1951 empowers the Union government in consultation with the state government to make rules for the regulation of recruitment and conditions of service of persons appointed to these All India Services. Objectives behind the creation of All India Services: facilitating liaison between Union and the states, ensuring uniformity in standards of administration, enabling the administrative machinery at the Union level to keep in touch with the realities at the field in the states, link between the Union and the state governments. The services provided a valuable link between the Union and the state government. Nature of All India Services. The hallmarks of civil services in India: constitutional protection, political necessities, permanency, anonymity, a recruitment based on merit done by a constitutional authorities and the public service commissions. Some negative Trends observed about the IAS. The general perception today, civil services in India has lost its neutral and anonymous state civil services. The state civil services administer subjects of the state's list of Constitution of India, that is agriculture, health, irrigation and education. These are comes under the purview of state civil services. There are under the exclusive administrative command of the respective state government. Their duties are confined to the territories of the state unless when working on deputation. Recruitment to the civil services. Each state public service commission conducts a competitive examination every year for recruitment of the state civil services. The recruitment is both within and without categories of services, to which selection is through the SCS examination. State administrative services, state police services, BDO, Tahsildar, excise and taxation officer, district employment officer, district treasury officer, district welfare officer, etc. all will be recruited by the state recruitment services. Some attempts to civil services reforms. Committee on Prevention of Corruption. Shantaram Committee appointed in 1964. The committee suggested rules governing the conduct of civil servants regarding filling of assets and liabilities statement of the employees. The receipt of gift and raising of contributions, dealing in stocks and speculations. Article 311 of the Constitution of India for conducting disciplinary proceedings against government servants. Fatah Committee 2004, amending Prevention of Corruption Act and Code of Criminal Procedure Code to protect honest civil servants from malicious prosecution and harassment. Formulating a model code of governance, benchmarking the standards of governance, an annual statement of governance report. Second, Administrative Reforms Commission 2005 to 2008. The committee was appointed. System of two incentive reviews. After 14 years of service, to assess strength, weaknesses. Whoever in state services, civil services, after completion of 14 years of their services, there is a vigilance and observations upon them, whether they are performing their official duties on strength or the character and administration are weak or not. It will be ascertained by the higher authorities. After completion of 20 years of service, to assess the fitness of the officer for continuation, whether the officer has competent to continue his service or not, or whether he ability to continue his service or not will be ascertained. If incurred any inabilities during his service, their promotions or prosperous will be demoted. And besides it, if the officers, authorities incurring any corruption, there is a chance to launch prosecution against them, and there is a chance to remove from the services. For new recruitments, employment shall be for 20 years. Further continuous would be subject to continue of the intensive. For new recruitments employment, after completion of their services of 20 years, the higher authorities will be decided whether they continue their services or not. Means there is a vigilance and credible information they will get and permitted to they can continue their further services. Further continuance would be subject to outcome of the intensive performance reviews. According to the review of the performance of the concerned officials, the further continuance would be subject to outcome of the intensive performance reviews. If any defaults incurring in their services, they will be demoted or any disciplinary action will be launched or will be there will be a chance to demote or discontinue the services, or maybe chance to ask them why should the disciplinary action would be launched against you.